What's up and welcome to another episode of It's Tip Top Fishing. My name is Keaton. I'm here sitting on my 2.2 meter specimen inflatable boat, and today we're going to do 5 top tips to look after your inflatable boat. Now all of these inflatable boats out of all of the brands need to be looked after. Unfortunately it just is what it is. Oh, that was a big fish. Unfortunately it is what it is, but it takes a little bit of effort and then it'll last a long time. But it goes for all of your gear. You've got to look after it or else you're going to just go through gear and break things and all that stuff. So the tip number 1 is a very obvious, easy tip, is don't drag it on the floor. Why? Because you don't know what is on that floor. There could be little nails, there could be hooks, there could be all these little things that can hook into your boat or puncture your boat. You don't want that. Now number 2 is got nothing to do with your boat itself. It's got to do with your battery for your trawling motors. Now these deep cycle batteries actually lose charge if they are left on the ground. I don't know why. I'm not an electrician or electrical engineer, but basically don't store your deep cycle batteries on the ground. Put it on a piece of wood, put it on a shelf or something, but make sure it's not grounded. If you know why, please tell me, please put it in the comments. The reason why I'm saying it is because there are a lot of guys that have been boating for years and years and years, and they all say store your batteries off of the ground. So that's tip number 2. Tip number 3, when you store your boat, make sure to wash it, because mud and stuff, when it dries it gets crumbly and then it gets abrasive. So then that abrasive stuff will go against your material and it will actually cause damage to your boat. That is the first part of number 3. The second thing is, when you do store your boat, make sure it's in a place where there are no rats. Rats, for some reason, love chewing this material. Now rats, their teeth keep on growing their whole life and they've got to gnaw so that their teeth don't grow through their skull. So they find things to gnaw on that feel lacquer. And unfortunately, boats that are made out of this 1050 GSM material is very delicious to them. They will chew on that thing all day. So you'll leave your boat for a couple of months and then you'll find a hole this big in your boat, which is very difficult to patch. So try to put it in a place where the rats don't go. Try to keep it away from baits and grains and all sorts of food items, because if they're not likely to go there, then they're less likely to eat your boat. Then tip number 4. Now let's talk a bit of science quickly. So with science and molecules, air is made out of molecules. So is water, so is solid, so is everything, okay? So when there's a lot of air in your boat, when you pump your boat up, it's got lots of molecules. Now those molecules are moving around and they're bumping against each other and bumping against the outside of the boat, the inside of the boat, that in the material, that 1050 material, it's bumping out of it, trying to get out, and it's working. Now what affects those molecules is heat. So the cooler it gets, the less they fight against each other and the less they blix them against the inside of this material trying to get out. So if you blow up your boat when it's cold and it's pumped, those molecules are kind of fighting a little bit and it feels pumped. So they're fighting and there's lots of molecules in it and they're trying to get out, then your boat feels good. If it heats up in the day, there's that same amount of molecules, but they are fighting like crazy because heat increases the molecular movement. So they are fighting like crazy and it can actually overstretch your boat. So tip number 4 is to make sure to release air out of your boat when it gets to the hottest time of the day. You'll watch in the evening and it's cold, your boat will get a bit softer, and in the day when it's about 1 o'clock, your boat will get super hard. So before 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, maybe at about 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock, just let a little bit of air out, and that will help your boat not get too stretched, and will help the longevity of your boat. Number 5, make sure to store your inflatable boat fully inflated. Like if it's left there for months and months, it will deflate a little bit, but leave it fully inflated. Why? Because when these boats are bent, they are bent in the seams between in the folds. It perishes the material, especially if it's left there for like 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 months. Those folds really get perished, and you can actually get holes in your boat if you leave it for too long when it's folded up. Yes, it's great that they can fold up and whatever, and you can transport them, but once you have transported them to wherever you are, inflate it, and then you will keep your boat nice and strong for a long time. So that is my 5 top tips for keeping your inflatable boat nice and healthy, keeping it going for a long time. And yeah, please enjoy your fishing on your boats, and please remember to like, share, comment, do all those cool things, and I'll see you next time on It's Tipped Up Fishing.